If you know grape industry, every tonne of grapes that you process, you're left with 25% of that, 250 kilograms of grape skins and seeds and stalks and stuff. So quite quickly, if you're a reasonable size operation, you build up quite a bit of waste. And as being an organic property, I was hired to take Saracen, the wine company, into organics, and so the first thing we sort of start doing is composting. And then I get a visit from the council to ask me if I have a certified compost pad, which I didn't know I needed, which then I had to get sorted. And one of the ways around it we saw is to investigate a large style bokashi compost, to put a cover on it so leachate wasn't going to be an issue, because really in well-made compost the leachate really only comes from excessive rainfall, we find. So we did, and we were heading down the biodynamic track, so we made two composts side by side, and we made them biodynamically in that we were layering the compost, carbon nitrogen, a few other additives in there like seaweed, etc. Both composts were prepped. One compost had EM inoculated into it in a liquid form, and then covered with a silage sheet, battened down and left. The thing that I couldn't get my head around originally with Mike was when he was saying, this compost will be ready by next spring, and it certainly was. Then samples were taken, and forgive my memory if something goes wrong here, but samples were taken and sent down to the BHU where they tested both types of compost. And the first thing that stood out was the bokashi compost. You have to accept that although we tried to make the two composts exactly the same ingredients, there will be some variation, but the bokashi compost, every single nutrient in the compost was quite significantly higher than its comparative compost. Okay, so found that quite interesting. And then I believe they took both sets of composts, mixed it with a growing medium, and grew some fast-growing annuals, put them under pressure to see whether any pathogens came out of the compost, any old powdery mildew, botrytis spores to infect the little plants, probably at dicotyledon stage, but neither compost showed that. So one of the questions often asked, if you put the cover on it and you don't aerate it, is it going to get hot enough to kill a lot of the pathogens? Well, I think this sort of thing shows that it obviously does.